So for today, I'm super excited. We have Fnky Mae, professional popper, and she's like one of the funkiest people I know. So I'm super glad to have you on today, Mae. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here and to finally talk to you.
Hell yeah, I'm so glad you came on for real because I know last time we had like technical difficulties and all that. So I know that happens. That happens to me all the time. And then so I'm really glad that we linked up because I've been itching to talk to you because you're like one of my favorite dancers, like in popping, and then just with
Wow.
like the dance that we love pertaining to funk. So you represent
Yes.
the funk really good. So yeah, you're one of the people that I look up to. That I think you're super sick with your stylings, with your hits, with your energy. Really up there. So yeah, so I'm really glad you came on. So thank you for saving
Thank
some
you.
time today. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
because there's like a big history and there's a lot of culture that comes. And then now, the cool thing is that now it's like around the world, like big time. It's like the culture is everywhere. It's so cool. You're like one of the people that travels around the world. You go everywhere and you come to the States and all that. So it's that's pretty cool how you really represent like that. So
Thank you. Yeah, that's really important to me.
hell yeah.
Yeah, for me, I love traveling in general, but also I think in this dance you have to because yeah, for me the culture is so important. That's why I went to LA so many times and also to the Bay Area, but only one time. And I want to go back actually because I didn't dance there.
Hmm.
And now I want to meet all the different cultures as well. Like that's why I went to China recently. And Europe is really easy to travel, so that's why we all travel a lot around Europe.
It's like more of a closed circuit, so that makes
Yeah.
sense. I'm curious, what did you do in the Bay Area? I didn't know you came around here. What did you do? Was there like an event or you just came for like vacation?
Yeah, I went for the first time to the States in 2018 because I was traveling around the world by myself when I finished my dance education. And my longest trip was to the States. So I stayed 3 months something, or 2.5 in LA, and also went, I don't know, 2 weeks or 1 week, I don't remember anymore, to New York. And actually, my plan was not to go to the Bay Area, but there was a guy, his name is Elliot, and he is running an event. It's called Today's Future Sound. And he's doing beat, he does music. So he's teaching kids how to do beat making, you know.
Oh wow.
So it's so nice. And he saw a video of mine when I was dancing in Creatington in LA. And he asked me, hey, you want to come to give a workshop? And
Mm.
that's how I went to San Francisco. And actually, I stayed in Oakland to meet him and his friends. And then I was like teaching a workshop there and talking to some kids on the streets. And then later he took me to New York because they are doing crazy stuff in New York. Him and his friends, they have in the South Bronx in a high school. I think it's a high school. The same high school LA Cool J went to. They
Oh
have a
wow.
project with the kids, and the kids can go there after school, and they have a studio in the high school where the kids where they do they do emceeing, they build beats, they make music, and him and his friends they teach them. We're like maybe 14 to 16 years old, and they
Hmm.
told me I want to become a rapper, and they record their own songs there and everything. It's amazing.
That's cool. Yeah, like the
Yeah.
hip hop culture, and that's cool that they're helping them kind of like keep it alive and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's very cool because
Yeah.
like that's like there's so
Wow.
many creative outlets, with that because like you could even be a DJ and represent hard with that too if that was your avenue, like you could just do that a lot too, and that's pretty dope.
Yes. But
Yeah.
this actually was the only thing I did in San Francisco and then Oakland. I wish I would have met more dancers, but next time I really have to go there.
Yeah, yeah. I think Oakland, like around in the Bay Area, I live in San Francisco, but the Bay Area
Oh,
is not
amazing.
Yeah, it's not that, like it's all close. It's all relatively close. Like Oakland is close, San Jose is kind of close, and so
Yeah.
there's a scene out there. I think right now Oakland has a kind of a cool scene with like the turfers, with like the younger crowd with the turfing. Like they're like representing a lot. And then San Jose has kind of always had their thing. Even if people knew about it or not, they've always had a lot of like popping, a lot of popping culture too, and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's out here too a little bit. L.A. of course, that's like the mecca of like popping and everything like that. And
Yeah.
so like all the people, a lot of people, even people that I knew in the past, like moved down to LA at one point or another because of the scene. I
Mhm.
want to know like I want to know like what kind of people inspired you to like who are like some OGs or like some like mentors that you have in the dance, because that's like really important, to us, because we like pay a lot of respect to like the people that we learn from, or the people who we like maybe we live by and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like, is there any like mentors or OGs that have really like been inspirational for your dance?
Yes. I mean, how I started was because of Storm, from Germany, our only OG we have. Because I saw him in a movie and he was dancing, and that's how I got in contact with this dance for the first time. But
Mm,
what's funny, I never really connected with him until today. Even he's from Germany, but I never see him, or I never. But he don't even know he was my first inspiration. But later on, I think it was a big part is Wiggles, because yeah, I love his style so much, and also his personality. And he gave me a lot, also of like, always when I talk to him, I feel so grounded, and um, I don't know, it's so amazing to me to see someone where the culture lives through him. Because when I see him, for me, he is hip hop, and this inspires me so much, how real his whole character is, or that's the way he is. And also, of course, his dance. I always watch his old footage when he was younger, but also nowadays, I love his dance. And a big inspiration is my mother, because my mother was my first teacher, my first hip hop teacher. Now
oh,
she's more into yoga and stuff, but she was my first teacher, and she was also the first person who brought me to Storm when I was a kid for a workshop.
oh
Um,
wow,
but
that's
I
so
didn't
cool.
keep. Yeah, she's the best, for real. She's amazing. Also the way she is really is inspiring to me, because she's so good to everyone, and even in Germany, for many dancers, she's like a mother too. But yeah, then of course, Wiggles, my mother, and Cool Pockets. So that's why we went to meet him last year when me and my boyfriend went to LA. We actually just wanted to go because we wanted to meet Cool Pockets. And so we went to his house many times. And when I went there again in November, I went there again. And yeah, this guy
Wow.
also.
So I knew that you guys met and stuff like in person, right? So you
Yes.
also met Wiggles in person too, like you know him in person, like for real, like in real life too, huh?
Yeah, I met him many times actually. I don't know. He came many times, and I also brought him some I think last year for some workshops. And I met him because the first battle I met him, I won, and he was judging, and he made me a jacket, and I have this jacket still here. It's the
Wiggles?
most, yeah, the customized jeans
Wow.
jacket.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
that was
so
the first
sick.
time
So
I met him.
for people that don't know or who aren't familiar, Mr. Wiggles is a old school hip hop pioneer, and he's a pioneer in popping and all that, and he has a huge history in the dance and in hip hop in general, and he's basically like a ghetto celebrity, like the people over there, in the East Coast, like where he's from Brooklyn. Is it Brooklyn
Yeah,
or yeah, like
I
he's like he's like everything over there. How like maybe we have like E40 and Too Short over here in the Bay Area. Wiggles is kind of like sort of like that for over there. Like he's like a ghetto celebrity. He's humongous over there. Like kind of like a huge fixture, and a big
Ghetto
role model.
celebrity. I love
Yes,
this.
yeah. He even used that word. I think he even said that. I think he even
Yes,
called himself that in one of his old videos. It's funny because the people that you mentioned right now, Wiggles, Mr. Wiggles, and Cool Pockets, they're literally the first people that I ever saw dancing like that on video.
crazy.
Because yeah, because I had seen a little bit of popping as like in high school, a little bit, and kind of like in late high school, that was my beginning to see it. And then once I started to like the dance, and then my friend started to teach me, that was the first videos that he had was of Mr. Wiggles and of Cool Pockets. And then so we would be like practicing in his house and stuff like that, and like that was the beginning of that. So like from there on, you started to try to emulate them and like have like their swag and like try to style like them, and like even like similar fashion, like everything like you try to emulate the dance and everything. So that was the beginning of me too. So I
Nice.
remember like having old memories of seeing, because Mr. Wiggles has so many like old school VHS tapes that you probably can't find no more. You know what I mean? Like they're probably archived or something like that. And also Cool Pockets. I think his video was called something like Underground Dance Masters. If anyone ever could get that footage, like it was a sick ass VHS, and it had Chain Reaction. Chain Reaction is the group of
Mm,
Cool Pockets, and then
yes,
they were so hard. It had like a sacking style. That's like kind of how I was like trying to decipher it. And he's still raw as hell. He's still raw as fuck. Cool Pockets, like after talking to you recently, I was like looking at some of his shit, and I was just like, damn, like this guy is like he is it. Like he is
yes,
so freaking hard. Like he is it, man. You know what I mean? And he always was it back then. Like he was always underground, but he was always one of the main fixtures. Then that probably makes sense why he was one of the first videos that I saw, because I
yes.
didn't know any people. I didn't know anybody like that, like how you did. At that point in time, the most that I had seen or that I knew in person, how I started to see it was, Bionic Man, uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, through them, through his group. His group was some of my friends, so that's how I started to see the dance, And then,
Mm,
what was this? At this point in time, I like, Kid Boogie,
mm-hmm.
that I remember he came to the Bay Area. This was like so long ago. This was when he was hanging out with Sweepy, and then when Sweepy had that video called Future Shock, that crazy Future Shock video DVD. That was around the time that I started to like kind of hang around. I wasn't like never a popper like that, but I would just kind of like hang around and mess around a little bit. But they were like the ones really doing the shows and everything like that. Yeah, so
Nice.
that was like my exposure to it, but I never knew any real OGs at that point in time. I didn't know any real OGs like that. So it's a trip that
Okay.
it's a trip that you were already like from the beginning. You were already thrown like out with them like that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, this is amazing. But still, I don't know shit, you know. I
No,
still
you're
have to
humble.
learn so much for
You're
real.
just you're
Eh,
very humble, man.
it's so much the culture because in Europe it's more i- it's like you know when we go out and we talk to people, to normal people, they don't know what popping is.
Mm.
But when I talked to the people in the States, they told me, hey, even my grandma knows how to pop because it's so much part of the culture. And that's why I think when I go there, I feel so alive all the time because it feels like natural.
Yeah, it's a big part of the culture. I think when I guess like when Soul Train, was it Soul Train? Yeah, when the
Hmm.
Boogaloos went on Soul Train, I think it just freaking
Hmm.
went through the roof in the whole United States.
Yeah.
Because people before that even saw breakdancing and stuff like that, but I think it went on another level. Probably after people saw Soul Train, and then the Electric Boogaloo movies that came around the same time in the early '80s. With like Popping
Mhm.
Taco and Popping Pete. I saw some footage with you and Cool Pockets, and man, I just thought it was the
Mhm.
shit. I think it'd be pretty cool if we show the people a little bit about that, because
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you were at his house or something, but you guys were like at a house, you know what I mean? And I guess he
Yeah.
was showing you and somebody else like maybe some stylings and stuff like that. And yeah, so I think like that
Yes.
it was pretty. It's really hard. Like you can really see like you're hitting like I really like Cool Pockets. Like his style is so energetic and so clean
Yeah.
and so
Yes.
clean because usually when you have clean the energy is not as high and then when you have high energy it's more not as clean, you know what I mean? But he has both like a
Crazy.
lot, you know. And so
Yeah.
yeah,
And
so I think that's pretty dope.
his timing to me is amazing. You know, he's never rushed, even he has so much power in his dance. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And like he reminds me like well not he reminds me he is like a real showman. Like when I saw some of his clips when he's doing like a whole show, he really he's really trying to take you like as if you're seeing a show like on a real stage. Like you know like if you go to like a concert and it's like the story from the beginning and then there's like an end in the middle and everything. He really tries to take you like on a journey like that. He's like a real showman like that, you know, for the stage. He's like a real stage person.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, that's like people that have been around like acts, like a lot of high performing acts. You know, like they do things like
Mm.
that. You know, yeah. Let's see if I could. I'm gonna put up this footage. Then let's see if I can get this one here. Okay, yeah, this is the one I want to share. Yeah, it's so interesting that Cool Pockets and Wiggles. Those are my introduction. Those are my little
That's crazy.
introduction in terms of OGs or whatever like that. Okay, can you see it?
Yes,
All
nice.
right, cool.
Yes.
Okay. So where was this at? Where was this? Whose house was this at?
It's his house.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So sick. Yeah, he has like that open hand style. He calls it open hand, huh? Open hand style.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like an
But
innovator. Like you could tell that he really like he went to his own laboratory and he did his own like you know what I mean? He like does it. He's like very original. He doesn't like
yeah,
worry
very
about
original.
copying. He's super original like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 that's true.
Yep. There's Cool Pockets. God, you're like so clean.
Thank you.
And who's this other guy right here?
Boogie G. He's from Germany
Boogie.
too.
Okay, cool. He's good too, man.
He's so dope.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, there you guys are. So sick, man. Because I'm telling you, like hanging out with them like that, like when you're with them, like in person, and you get those opportunities, it's like life changing. You know, like let me ask you this: like even when you went home, right? Like after you hung out with Cool Pockets, like it changes your energy, right? Like you feel different. Like it changes, like it just changes your dance and it changes you, huh? Like
100%.
hanging around with them, right?
Wow, yeah. This is Yeah, as I told you, it's like it's humbling you, it's grounding you, but at the same time it's like I don't know, the complete opposite. It's like, you everything shifts in your mind and in your dance. But I feel for the dance it takes time because always when I'm with, for example, with Cool Pockets, I'm completely confused first. So I have to go back.
The chances that I've had have been with some of the OGs from the Wharf, you know, in San Francisco. So that's like with
Nice.
Pop Tart, with Shaba, and then his friends, you know, like his crew people, right? So that was my opportunities to hang out with them. And their energy is still around me, you know, and then I think it's
Crazy.
like life changing, yeah, because I remember like trying to learn like foundations and like if you don't have an OG, it's kind of hard. Like it's very hard to just try to do it on YouTube or like or whatever
Mm-hmm.
like that. It's very difficult. Like I'm sure you could
Mm-hmm.
learn a lot, you know,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like there's something about it that like to actually be with the people from the culture, and then when they explain to you why they do this about their characters, you know how you said Wiggles is like a character, but he's really like that in real life. That's
Yeah.
what I learned about like the OGs from the Bay. Is like, no, they're really crazy like that. Like this is how they really
Yeah.
are. Like
Yeah.
they're really animated like this all the time. They're
Yeah.
really crazy like this all the time. Like it's a part. It's just like it's just how they
It's
are.
them.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
they're
them.
a
It's not
character.
not a role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're real characters in real life. Kind of like you know how actors have perform. It's a type of performance art, but they make it like with the culture, so it's like you eat, breathe, and live it. It's a part of your lifestyle. So that's
100%.
why that's why they have the swag that like they're not copying no one's swag. Like that's how they really are. They really are swagged out. And then all the OGs are like that. Like that's why I could tell with Cool Pockets. I'm like, man, like whatever it is about him, you could tell that he goes to the laboratory by himself and he's like a scientist. Like he wants to experiment. He does his own shit and he doesn't need
Yes.
anybody else. Like he does, like you could tell, like I can see that in his dance. It's so cool. It's like so
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And I
wonder if
miss this so much now, and so man, I don't know. That's why also in Germany, for example, I miss this a lot. And I don't know, the older I get, the more I'm just interested in these people. I don't know. I mean, there's so many great dancers in this world and many inspiring people. When I see these OGs, it's like I don't know. You cannot even explain it, I think. I cannot. It's just
yeah.
something.
Well, I'm glad that you are saying this because I'm like, okay, like I'm really not crazy because I just thought it was like maybe I'm sensitive, you know what I mean? But no, it's really like that. And
Hmm.
that's why you're really good because you value this. You know what I mean? The people that shine later on really good are people that really respect the culture with the dance. Because sometimes people
Mm.
maybe they just like a little bit, or maybe they just want to be cool for the club, or like cool for the girls a
Yes.
little bit, and then like after like 3 years, then they never dance again, or it was like they just tried it, but it wasn't like a lifestyle or something like that.
Yeah, and you
And
can
then
see
so
this. I see this also a lot in the younger people in Europe right now. It feels like they don't go so deep in their dance. It's just like fast, fast, fast. And I think it's a lot connected to TikTok and all the social media stuff.
and then also I think with like the meme dances, I guess that you see like on those video games or like the computer games. What do they call it? Like Minecraft or
Yeah.
what's the other one? Like those kind
Ah,
of like
um,
my those computer games for kids, like Minecraft is one and
yeah,
then the other one. But I guess they have dances, right? And like kids
yeah,
copy the dances. Like I guess like one that's famous now. I don't know if I think a football player did it, but it's also famous on the computer. It's called the gritty. The gritty
uh-huh.
dance, and like they do like these funny little dances, but it's like from the computer game or it's like for TikTok. And I think now people are used to dancing like that because they want to keep the screen. I noticed that, and then so I think now people roll with it a lot. And it's interesting because what I noticed with like the Bay Area, at least I'll say this for like the Bay stuff, is like an important thing that they like to do, like the OGs. They want to take up space. They want to like take up
Mm.
space, like air and volume. So they'll take a room here, and then they want to go over there and like take up rooms. Like they want to take up rooms around, and then so that's one aspect that's like important to them. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's
And
important
so
not to dance flat. You want to
yeah, because
dance because you want to dance in the cypher, so you want to dance to everyone, not just to one person.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
if you
because then
always
you get
dance to a mirror or to a phone, you dance really flat.
yes, yeah, because then your dynamic is gone. So it's like interesting because I think the mirror does help. I'm not gonna lie, like, but I think it's just good
100%.
just a little bit, like just a little bit, and then don't do all your dance in the mirror. Like just in the beginning, maybe for the first couple minutes to warm up, to make sure that you're kind of like aligned, and then
Mm-hmm.
after that, then you should probably not focus on the mirror that much, like once you feel warmed
Mm-hmm.
up or whatever like that, so it's interesting, a mirror is cool and all, but too much mirror, it'll give you that flatness. Like you won't be dynamic and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it depends what you train. If you train like tats and you want to be really clean or I don't know, whatever, then the mirror is nice. But for example, if you just want to feel the music, or make use the space, of course, then we don't need a mirror. So it depends.
Yeah.
But also, for me, the whole TikTok thing and everything is not bad. For me, you can do it, and I do it sometimes too. It's fun. But I just see it with the popping dancers. I can just talk about the popping dancers right now, because popping takes so much patience and so much. You really have to be patient, and it's a really ungrateful dance, because the first year maybe you will, it just everything will look shit. So you really have to be conscious, but you know what I mean. And I
Yeah.
think the people,
Patience. Yeah.
they don't have the patience no more, because TikTok is so fast, so
Yeah.
they cannot concentrate that long anymore for this. And
Yeah.
that's why I just see it in their dance. It's really like just scratching on the surface,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
It's like,
doesn't
so,
go deep.
yeah. Yeah. It's like a little shallower. Yeah. And it's like, I think what happens with that, with what you're talking about, is that like at that point, for people, the moves become more important than like what it looks like. Like they want to be able to have a lot of, like, to have moves. Like, oh, I want to have a bunch of moves. But um, I
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit better maybe to focus on like maybe the quality of the movement, even if you don't have that many moves at first. And then once you
yeah,
get kind of like a hit and like you feel like kind of like the quality of the movement's better, like the look is better, and then you can try to like bust out like hella like acquire moves and tricky like tricks and tricky tuts and stuff like that. But like in the beginning, there's nothing wrong with just working on your hit type of thing. And in my experience, what I think like kind of what I think is like imagine if you want to learn today, right? Like today you want to start learning how to be a popper or learn like funk style dancing. That imagine if you want to do it like practice like every day or like 5 days a week, like pretty hard. I think
mm-hmm.
it'll take like almost like a whole year to start to have like a hit, like a year to have it to start to have a hit, and that's being
Yeah,
dedicated. And then I
yeah,
think maybe after like 2 years, then it's like okay, you kind of have a hit a little bit, but that's like years just to even have a hit. So that's
it's
like a lot of
crazy.
patience. That's like a lot. It's like a lot of dedication. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
it's like you don't just wake up and all of a
so
sudden you can just start banging and hitting how you look. Like you have a crazy hit, very
thank you.
shattering, electrical, and a very clean. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
one big thing why I like about you. So with you, it's very clean, but it's also very hard and sharp. So it's like it has everything. So it's like very professional, very professional.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I think for me it took longer than 1 year or 2 years. I think it took longer for me, you know.
What, like to have a
I
hit, like to
was
have a hit, or
slow.
what?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think. But yeah, people are different for
Yeah,
sure.
it took me like that's kind of what it was for me to even just start to have a hit. But then that's
Mm-hmm.
just called the hitting part. Like how I describe people hitting is like imagine like like a car, how a car has a stereo system, right? And then so you have the deck in the front where you push the buttons for the music, but in the trunk you have all like the big speakers and then like the amp, right?
Mm-hmm.
The amp is what charges the speakers to have the boom, boom, boom. So I consider the hit, like in popping or whatever, or like the funk dance. I consider that the amp that
Mm-hmm.
will charge the big speakers to blow, like that. So that's just the hit. That's not even the styling. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
So then
yeah.
it took me a while just to even get a hit. And then after that, the styling took forever.
And is
Yeah, and
yeah,
then everyone's
crazy.
different. Like everyone has different like strengths, so I was better with my upper body, and
Mm-hmm.
then my feet were the weakest. My feet were last. Like my lower body was last. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone has different, I don't know. Like
Yeah,
some people can start waving, like some people are natural wavers, like they could wave really good, or some people it's easy for them to touch. It's a journey, man. It's a whole ass thing. Let's see if I could I want to share this clip. It's not a clip, it's just an image with it's with that cool it's with the underground dance master. I was talking about how back in the day when I was learning, this was the first video that I saw besides Wiggles, because Wiggles had a bunch of underground videos, and this was the other video with cool pockets that I saw. This is what it looked like.
yeah,
Can you see that?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, see, so right here, here's cool pockets right here. He's on the left, right? This one's him, and then this is his partner for chain reaction.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. It says Underground Dance Masters, Final History of a Forgotten Era. After a 22-year
Oh,
ordeal, this breakthrough documentary has finally been completed, tracing for the first time their entire origin, evolution, diaspora, history, innovators of the forms that make up the urban street dance, which the world now refers to as breakdance or hip hop dance. The film, based on the book Underground Dance Masters, The Final History of a Forgotten Era. And then, so
wow.
yeah, and then the director is Thomas Guzman Sanchez, aka Cool Pockets. So um, yeah, so he's super old, man, super OG, and all that
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, man.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, because his locking is fucking
I
just as
wanted
sick.
to say his locking is wow.
Hmm.
Shit.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was this YouTube one. I think it's called. I think
Yeah.
he calls it the solo. I think he calls it the solo. I think it's that one. And then I think he, in the beginning, when he's like locking and then he's spinning with his spins. I was like, fuck, that was so like the funk is just like pouring out of his skin. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh
It's
my
so
god, like
fucking crazy.
yeah, it's
Is
so
it the
cool to see.
but is he it's a solo or is he with two other people?
This one is
Wow.
it's
So
called the solo, and it's just him by himself.
okay.
And he might be like in a. It looks like he's in a room. He's not in a stage. Yeah,
Ah, I know. I know the one.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And the
We
one
can
on the
check it out.
stage, with the two people, these are his kids.
Yeah, I thought that was because I knew that was his
Yes.
son. So that's his daughter,
Yeah.
the other one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so crazy that they're
This
they're
is
good. Like
so
they,
they
they
is
were
so good.
they were keeping up with him, and I'm like, damn. Like I was like, because at first, the first minute or two, I was looking at Cool Pockets, right? But then towards the end,
Mm-hmm.
I was like looking at the kids. I was like, the kids are keeping up with him. Kids, and I was like, they must be his kids. I'm like, there's no other explanation that like I don't know another, So that's so
Yeah.
cool. My God, that's like I don't know. That's very commendable.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. All right, let's see if I can find another little clip. Okay, so
Ah,
this is
okay.
your partner, right? Is this your partner?
Yeah. Yeah. It's my partner.
See, look at that. Yeah, you're like snap, like man, dude. Like people don't really snap like that. You know what I mean? And what country was this in?
At Germany.
Uh huh. And then with the hat and everything, and then it's good. Like it's good. Even I think like the hair to have it like even the hair is making its effects. It's so good, man.
It's true, the hair is
And then the
dancing, yeah.
energy, the high energy.
And
Wow,
Yeah, this
so
was
cool,
our
man.
second battle we did together because we're not a team for so long. So we just did
Okay.
one battle in France, and this was the second battle I think we did together.
Mm,
Yeah,
hella dope. What's your partner's name? I don't even know her name.
Glory, Glory.
Glory. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That one. It looked like you did like a prelim in China. Oh shit! I
Mm-hmm.
did it. Yeah. Oh, see right there. Yeah, you were feeling the funk. Oh, so cool. Okay.
Especially
Yeah.
pre-selection, I think is the most stressful part of
Mm,
battles.
Okay.
It's not, I
Yeah,
don't
well,
like
you can't tell. Like you seem like you have all the confidence. You know what I mean? And then like in towards the like in the end, you could just feel like I could tell like the funk part. Like you were like, oh, there it is. It's like a, how do I describe it for someone? Because it's like I think a lot of people who don't know about the dance or who are unfamiliar, it takes like a bit of a training of the eye to like notice these
Mm,
things. You know what I mean? And then because like I noticed that people who are unfamiliar with the dance and they see a little bit of the dance for the first time, they like moves like Michael Jackson moves, you know, like a
mhm.
backslide, and then they're like, oh, like because they know what that
Yeah.
is, you know, or
Mhm.
if they see a wave, oh, look, a wave, I know what a wave is, so like they like a wave, right? Because after a
Mhm.
while, when you train and you train and you train, and then the like the music, it like lives inside of you, like the styling, it's like a part of you now, and so
Yeah.
that's cool. You could see
That's
that.
beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
And
see. I
it's so
wonder.
nice that you say I look so confident because I used to be the most shy student, very shy when I started
Wow,
dancing.
you don't whatever I've been seeing is not shy. I don't see.
No, not
Yeah, that's
anymore, but
yeah, yeah. You're
I
like not
went a long
anymore.
way.
Okay, hold on one second. Can you see that?
Yes, yes.
And it's
Okay.
funny because his name is Cool Pockets, and in my head, right, I'm like, he's in the pocket, he's in the pocket, he's in the
Yeah,
pocket. So I'm like,
the
yeah, Cool
name is
Pockets,
perfect.
Cool Pockets.
The
I'm like,
name is
it's so
what you
cool, man.
get. Yeah.
Exactly. And it was funny because you see how he's dressed right here.
Hmm.
This is how me and my friend, when he was teaching me, we were starting to dress like this back then. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And we were like the only people trying to dress like here, like in the Bay Area, because it's not a Bay Area style that much, like this exactly, right? So, but this was the shit, man. Like this whole thing, and look, it says right here, 74 to 14, so 40 years of dancing. So that's why he looks young as shit. He's certifiable OG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Performer. Yeah, so cool.
Oh shit.
Love it. Love it. Um,
Hmm.
a taste for you guys. He has a lot of different shit, and I don't know. He's like he's like super professional. People that are stage people are super professional because the other person that he reminds me of is a Pop Tart, Lonnie
Hmm.
Green, because he's had a lot of experience on stage with like even like musicians and other artists, like music artists, and then his regular dancing stage things and all that. So apparently like there's a culture thing that they experience in the 70s and the 80s about the stage that they still take now.
Did you know Cool Pockets was the first popping dancer in the music video?
Mm-mm.
No?
In what video?
Um, Young Turk from
Wow.
of Rod Stewart. You can
Okay.
check the video if you, and this is Cool Pockets. There's one dancer and it's him.
Wow.
Young
Yeah, so that's
Turks.
wow. Yeah, see that's what I mean. He has like famous, like it's not just the Electric Boogaloos have like their famous kind of history, you know what I mean? Like he has his definitely his own for
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
He
dope.
told us actually Chain Reaction was really on the peak, back in the days. But the
Mhm.
thing was about the EBs, they got Soul Train, and that was the moment how everything changed.
Yeah. Yeah, for
That's
sure.
how they went up and they were unstoppable. But before
Yeah.
was actually Chain Reaction.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But Soul
yeah, because
Train just changed
it,
the whole
yeah, because
game.
it went nationwide, and then the movies, with the movies.
Yeah,
After that,
yeah,
it was like a rap, and then that's why now people who don't even know about the dance, oh, but I know Electric Boogaloo, the movie, so like they know the movie, and then
yeah.
they'll call it breakdancing. They'll
Yeah,
call
yeah,
popping breakdancing or whatever like that. And so,
yeah,
but yeah, no, I mean that's what happened to the Bay too, because the Bay Area had its own. They had a lot of they had they had like the culture back then was more like they would have like so many events and so many things for it, and now it's not like that around here. It's more harder to find, at least up here. And then but back then, there was it was hot. It was hot everywhere. And then after Soul Train, then the whole world got it and stuff. But I'm glad though. I'm glad in a way because look, like I meet people like you across the world.
it's
When I
amazing.
went
Yeah.
to I went to vacation in Mexico in the summer a couple of months ago, and then I saw over
Nice.
there that now they're having their own culture over there too,
Hmm.
their own popping culture, their own popping scene. It's like I like to see it because for me when I was younger, like I had a lot of distractions. I had a lot of like kind of like bad, a little bit of bad things around me, and then with the
Mm.
dance, it like made me want to change my life, to save my life, to be better, to be a better person, and then to use art, like I can use art and creativity to go there instead of like other silly distractions. You know what I mean?
It's
So
crazy. Dance means
yeah,
so much.
yeah, it was like life changing. Like it made me want it. Like, oh, like instead of hanging out with certain other people, I can just kind of practice and just kind of do my own thing and just kind of develop myself. And then it even
Yes.
makes you be more in a way. I'll speak for myself. It makes you want to be more spiritual too, in a way, because
Yes.
you're trying to find out answers like through the dance. You're trying to get better at a dance, so you want to find out answers, right? So a lot of times to find out answers, also if you're like spiritually in tune or spiritually inclined, the answers will be more clear and they'll be more faster, like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And also, free with by freestyle, you have to um, be with yourself and really reflect many things, and you always have to be able to get reborn every time again, you know. And I always say this, dance really has taught me that my biggest gift is myself. You experience this, and if you it's a big gift if you are able to live that, because many people they don't feel this way. And I think especially nowadays, many people feel very lost in this society, and I totally understand. I would
Yeah.
feel the same, but we have something at least that, in our own, we are living, yeah, we live in a bubble sometimes, or a lot, depends how much time you spend in this dance world. But for me, I can talk about myself. I really live in a bubble. But then I talk to my family, and yeah, the thoughts they have, I totally understand, but I cannot relate because,
Build your own
yeah,
world. Well, because you
yeah,
build your own world. And like, because it's like, imagine how you say in a bubble, right? Like, when you blow
hmm,
bubbles and like you like look at a bubble, if you stare at the bubble, you can see worlds in the bubble. Like there's bubbles in the bubble. Those are the worlds in the
hmm,
bubble. And this dance is like a magic dance. So like you
hmm,
have the magic. You realize I have magic. I have the magic inside of me. It's hard to be like depressed. It's hard to be mad at the world, to hate the world. It's hard, because
mm,
before I wanted to be, I was like self-destructing before when I was younger, like
hmm,
self-destruction, and then after the dance and seeing what it could be like, because I saw OGs and then some of my friends, I saw how magical and special it was. I was like, oh my God, you could get something like this in this world. You know what I mean? And then so it's like very inspiring. And then even to this day, it makes me want to be a better person. Like I like going to do exercise, right? But now my exercises and my mind is based off of is going around the dance. Like how can I make my body better for the dance? How can I make my
hmm,
mind better for the dance? And then things like
hmm,
this, and even my energy, like, oh, like let me rest today so then tomorrow I could practice. Kind of like
hmm,
that. Like it's like everything is, so it's like our art. It's like your art, it's like your artist, so it's like it
hmm,
becomes your life and we love it. Like that's what
hmm.
happened to us, I guess, because I was I was watching Cool Pockets videos back years ago, and then I'm still in love with the dance. I still think he's the shit. It's like I never. It's like nothing changed in a way,
Yes,
and so it's so beautiful,
it
so beautiful.
is.
Yeah, I want to try to see if I could find a. Before we kind of start rounding out, I want to find the one of you. It's like You were in China. A bit of like you have different styles, and this one reminds me of a little bit kind of more G style ish, kind of like that. And then so
Mm-hmm.
it's like you were wearing like a blue hat. Let's see if I can
Mm-hmm.
get this one. Okay, you see the screen, right? Are we there?
Yeah.
Screen is okay. All right. See, the dance is yours now because you're having fun in the middle of the dance. You see what I mean? Like that's one other thing. How you know you got it, you made it. That's like the best feeling, you know.
West Coast Stone.
Dope. So cool. Yours keeps sticking out really, really bad. That's pretty dope, man. All right, let's see if we can find. We go. So you're gonna before we kind of head out. I want you to kind of talk a little bit about this because I'm very curious about this. This was kind of big, or this was a big event.
Mm-hmm.
111到120，请准备。Last 10 seconds. 5,
Ooh,
4, 3, 2,
light work for
1.
you. That was light work for you. I tell you that. So cool. So please tell us
That
a little bit
was.
about. So okay, first before you talk, I'm sorry. What I was gonna say is that so this was in China at the you had this huge competition. You had like over 1,000 competitors, right, or something
Yeah,
like over a
I
thousand
think.
poppers or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy
Yeah.
there. I think 1,200 at
Oh
this
my god.
event.
And how
It's
you said a
crazy.
little while ago, you were saying that when I asked you about the nervous thing or whatever at events, like you said that well a little bit maybe in the beginning you said well like the prelims you said is worse than later on, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this was like a little bit earlier in the event, right? And you could tell that people around you was just kind of like you could feel the competitiveness.
I don't know because there nobody knew me, so I was like, I was just a random person because there's so many people and nobody knows me there. But
Mm,
for me, always the longer I wait, the more I get nervous. And also, I could
mm,
see when I went into the circle, into the cipher for the pre-selection, all the people came to watch. Because Chinese people, I think they are like this. They are like, oh, okay, we don't know this person. Okay, let's check.
oh yeah, they
And
were
then they have
scoping
their
you out.
phones and then they're watching you. But I just realized while I danced, so it was okay.
Like so this was in China. Like how did you like what was this event called? What jam was this called?
This one was KOD.
Okay,
This is
KOD.
one of
Okay.
the biggest, I would say. It was in Beijing. I was just in Beijing, and
Mm.
it was also my first time in China. I don't know, I always wanted to see how they train and stuff. And I asked my friends who are living there actually, when should I come? And they all said come in August because we have two
Mm.
events, two the biggest events, KOD and Dance Vision. So I went
Oh, I've
there.
heard of Dance Vision a lot. That's oh, so yeah, they're humongous.
Wow.
Yeah, those are humongous. Yeah, dude, I
Yeah.
saw one of your, I don't know if it was like a story or one of your posts, but it was in the beginning part of that event. And
Hmm.
you showed the picture of like how big it is with so many people. It was insane. Like the Asian community for popping is like they probably represent the most in the world. Like they're so deep. They're very dedicated. Like all
Yes.
the Asians, like from like in Korea, China, Japan, like they're very, very
Yes.
dedicated and very smart. It's a trip.
Yes.
Like they really represent
It's a
their
trip.
shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the
Yeah.
whole way how they show this dance, like with the show with the competitions, is very professional. And
Mm.
also the DJs, they play good music all day, because in Europe, or yeah, I just say Europe, I don't know every country, but in many countries, I don't like the music so much. But when
Mhm.
I went there, it was for 10
Wow.
hours or something. The music was good.
So out of those things, out of those 1,000 plus people, you made it to like the 64, right? You made it to like in the
Yeah.
64.
Yeah.
It's freaking
Hmm.
crazy, dude. Well, I know you're humble, but to sift through all those many people, you know what I mean? You must have, that must be really tiring or something. I can only imagine you were like really exhausted or something. Like you probably needed a vacation after the vacation.
Yeah, it's true. But I don't know, in China I had so much energy because we did
Mm,
so much every day, dance, 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 and this and that and da, da, da. But I don't know, I was never tired. It was so weird. But when I
mm.
came back, I could feel it was a lot.
I want to say thank you for coming on. This was so cool having you on. I'd like to have you back on whenever we have time because I know you're super busy traveling the damn world, doing all your shit and everything, and you're so busy. Tell me, like, is there any like, do you do like classes or anything like that? Do you like teach over there in Europe or anything like that, or no? Or
Yeah, right now I'm teaching here in two cities, and actually be thinking about to build something online soon.
nice, hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
future too now. I'm sure. I mean, I know
yeah,
it's not the same as in person. You know, in person is like it's like the real shit, you know, like
yeah,
the real
yeah.
shit. But online too is very cool. Like it's better than nothing, especially if you're getting good
Yes,
information and good knowledge and like you feel like support, you know what I mean? Because a lot of
yeah,
times the dancers don't feel supported because it's like
true.
competitive. So sometimes people kind of get at each other like in a weird way. Like they don't want to support each other because they feel competition. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I noticed. So
And
yeah.
also, I think for people who don't have a community around, because I grew up like this, I come from a very small city in Germany, and there's nothing around. There was really
Mm.
nothing. So I was often alone. I trained a lot alone. And I think if I would have had someone like online at least who gave me feedback or anything, I think I would have appreciated it so much. So it's not the same, of course, but as you said, it's better than nothing. And
Yeah.
also, you can learn from everybody in the world. This is crazy.
I know we're in such a cool lucky time, you know. So that's why I'm trying to make the best out of it and trying to maximize my shit. You know what I mean? Because we
Yeah,
have opportunities. It's really cool. And then there's a lot of cool people out there that you didn't know that you knew type of thing. You know, like there's a lot of
yes,
solid people out there because like even if I'm in California, like it can still feel small for me. I can still feel alone too here. You know what I mean? So it
yeah,
just depends on your like who you have around you, like your community and stuff like that. And so yeah, so that's
it's
very
true.
commendable. I respect that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And also that we could exchange today. I already learned so much today already. So
yeah.
this is amazing.
It's good, man. We gotta like, you know, people like we all gotta like kind of stick together in our way because we love the same thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We value and it changed our lives. You know, people might think like, oh, maybe people might think that it was easy to get, but it was not easy to get. It's like very hard to get. It's very
mm,
it's like a very it's like a big journey. It's like a big journey, you know. So yeah, so
yeah.
that's what's up. But before we head out, let the people know about your socials. Maybe they can like check you out, follow you, check out your videos and all that good stuff, and then that way they can even be posted up for when you start doing your other, like your other internet teachings and all that stuff. Yeah, so let them know.
Yes. Yeah, so my Instagram is Fnky Mae, but no U, so it's FNKYMAE. And yeah, I also have YouTube, and on TikTok it's the same. So
Nice. Yeah, and I'm gonna have that like in the notes, so people can just kind of click it, or like they'll be able to find the link. I'm gonna put it on the bottom of the episode notes, so that will be there for us too. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, well, I want to thank you for coming on. It was really good talking to you, sharing. I know there's like a lot more to explore. It's funny that we have, even though we're so different, we have so many things in common. You know what I mean? So that's like
yes.
super cool. Yeah, so it feels really good to like be able to feel camaraderie, with somebody like, oh, like we're cool, man. So that's what's up. So thank you for all that. And yeah, we'll be catching you soon enough. I'll invite you, in the future whenever you have a little bit of time, we can start talking about whatever you're doing next, because you're always doing something new, new and exciting type of thing. So we can see what you're doing around the world.
Thank you so much. Really, I appreciate it. It was so nice. And I hope we see each other in real life soon.
Yeah, that would be cool, man. Oh my God, I would love to see your hit in person. It's so cool. You have such a shattering hit. So you have these very fast, very strong gears that are different. So I'm gonna be learning. Like, you're someone that I want to learn from too, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I hope we can exchange soon.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I come back to the States, and I really want to come to San Francisco and Oakland and all these places.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll love you out here, especially in Oakland. In Oakland, you'll probably be fucking ripping them up over. So thank you for coming on and all that good stuff.
Thank you, my friend.
Hell
Bless
yeah.
you.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
And all the people who listen to this.
Hell yeah. Thank you, guys. Well,
thank you.
So we'll be catching you guys sooner than later. Have a good one. Peace.
Peace.